Okay, now let's start our afternoon session. Now let me continue with the number 4 objects. This 4 objects is very wide. You will understand how it is wide and how much it wides. In the morning session, I explained about how to observe the incidence of type obstacle, mental defilements. I have already explained it, and the first, the second, and third, and the fourth one. The first one is sensual desire, and the second one is abortion, and the third one is sloth and torpor, and the fourth is mental restlessness and guilt, and the fifth was doubt. Most meditators, they don't have much problem with all the 5. They just only have a problem with the first one and the second one, and also the third one, and sometimes and the fourth, the restlessness. They don't have doubt, actually. They just can practice meditation without doubt. But for some people in the world, doubt having unconvinced thought is quite natural. We always need to ask questions. We need to check out which one is the right or wrong. But in practice of meditation, especially regarding this Vipassana meditation, there's no doubt that it is effective and it will benefit if we practice Vipassana meditation with a serious interest and sincere commitment. It can bring a wonderful benefits in the long term. Not a casual meditator. Casual meditation is good in the beginning, but in the long term, regular practice is more beneficial and more sustained. With the regular practice, one can notice the clarity of the mind, the strong nature of the mind. Normally, the mind is very shaky and also very weak for some people. To make it strong and stable, meditation is really very helpful. It can increase mental integrity. It can help provide with the mental purity as a result of the long-term regular practice. What we need to do is we have to incorporate daily practice into our daily life. Okay, now let me go ahead to next phase of the Dhammanupassana, the fourth subject. And the second one is called aggregates. People understand about the term aggregate. This English word refers to the collective, solid, natural thing, such as rocks and brick, etc. The term aggregate in Pali is called known as the khanda. Khanda means the groove. Groove usually means material group and mental group. Everybody, human beings and animals, big and small, have these five aggregates, five khandhas. These five khandhas are that which makes us complete people, complete person. Most people who are quite familiar with the Buddhist teaching or Buddhist writing know what khandha means. There are five khandhas and five groups which comprise a person. A person, either Robert or Jenny, consists of these five aggregates. What are they? The first is physical aggregates called the Rupa Khanda. The matter, physical body, collectively known as the Rupa Khanda. And the second group consists of the four. These fours are based on the consciousness as a main base, main body. Based on consciousness or the mind, the other three come up. What are the other three? The feeling and the perceptions and various sub-mental states, such as anger, jealousy, faith, wisdom, etc. So now let me clarify these five groups of the aggregate. The first aggregate, which is called the Rupa Khanda, is physical aggregate, the physical matter of this body. And the second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, all these four are mental elements, invisible in the form of the physical tangibility, because they are not physical matter, they are intangible mental elements. Those four are feeling, this is clear to understand, perception, this may be a little bit misleading for some people. What is perception? And the thought, sub-mental states. Sub-mental states are actually altogether 52, according to Buddhist psychology. Out of 52, feelings and perceptions are separated because they are dominant and function also in the nature. Feeling, once the feeling arises, you know this is a good feeling, this is a bad feeling. You start reacting. And perception, in this case, is memories, remembrance, remembering things which have been in the form of the flashback. There are different kind of memories. Memories associated with the good and pleasurable thing. Memories are associated with the bad, angry, or anger causing thing. Memories that which cause some mental torment and strong anger, and some are miscellaneous thoughts, miscellaneous thinking. Many millions of thoughts. So these are called the perception. Actually, perception, the English word is not complete interpretation. In Buddhist text, it's called the sanya. Sanya, we try to interpret as perception. Actually, it is the mind's thinking back about this and that, flashing back, recollection, all these kind of things are what's called a sanya. In Buddhist text, sanya has many kinds. Kama sanya, the first one. Second one, vyavara sanya. The second one's vihesa sanya. And then the fourth one is called the nanasta sanya. Kama sanya, the pleasant thoughts about your happy days. Vyavara sanya, thoughts about anger and that cause anger. Vihesa sanya, thoughts which cause extreme anger, that we want to get up and hit someone because he did some really bad thing. And Nanada Senya, all the various kind of miscellaneous remembrance, thinking about work, thinking about the family, thinking about such and such minor things in life. All these kind of sub-mental states are called the Senya. And that group in Bali is called the Sankara Khanda. Many English translation trying to interpret as other way. Formation. So one of the apparent translation is formation. People don't understand what it means. So I'm trying to keep it submental, remaining submental states, which are mind-based and mind-generated. They are various kinds. Even when we practice meditation, there are a lot of the Sankarakana mental states coming up frequently. So I don't want to use the technical terms, otherwise it will be confusing and misleading. So I want to keep it as it is, sub-mental states. This is the one should be enough. Various sub-mental states, excluding sense, feeling and memories. Now the fifth one is called the Vijnana Khanda. Vijnana Khanda is the mind cell, the consciousness, the spirit itself, serving as the main base, like the pond in the lake. In a big lake, there's a big mass of the water. Based on that big mass of the water, the ripples arise, various forms of ripple, based on different causes. Sometimes the heavy ones, the moment they flow heavily on the surface of the lake, the ripples come up. Sometimes there's a big boat pass by, then the ripple waves come up. Sometimes a naughty boy and someone, maybe a surfer or a playful man, throw the stones onto the lake. Then it creates waves. Those waves are like the three group of the aggregates, feeling, memories, and other submental states. Consciousness is the main base. This consciousness is the main and the major generating force of those three aggregates. So a correlation of mind and matter makes these five aggregates. These five aggregates become the object of meditation. But in this case, what the Buddhist explain is that as a collective component, a meditator needs to reflect. in Mahastipchana Sutta discourse, where the mindfulness is explained in great detail. Buddha himself said these words. Now let me quote. Iti rupam iti rupasa samudyo iti rupasa atimo. Regarding the mind, Buddha said, now here this matter arise, and this matter arise based on this cause. Now this is the point where the matter came to function and cease to function. So a meditator knows with mindfulness the matter and the cause of the matter as well, and also the cessation of the matter. For example, when we watch the breath as a primary base of the meditation, we just focus on the breath. The breath is actually physical elements, air elements. That air come in, go out continuously. In the beginning, it may seem like continuous, but later on, it becomes very clear. The incoming air, outgoing air, all this is process. It's just continuous. Later, they become a significant process of air moving in and coming out. Like the raindrops and snowflakes falling in front of our homes. They just come down and then they just disappear once they hit the surface of the earth, especially the rainwaters. And also the snowflakes, in case the sun's shine comes up, and they just disappear. They cannot remain forever, leaving no trace. In the same way, all the matter, including this air we breathe in, is subject to constant rising and passing away. We see how the air come in. We see how the air get out. We see this air continuously coming and going out. No way to hold it. There's no post, no way, no method to say thank you. Fresh air, I really appreciate you are supplying of oxygen. And please remain here in front of me. I really admire you. We cannot say that like that. We cannot hold on to that air. And we just simply let go. You have to have this kind of um, attitudes, letting go attitudes. So in the same way, we have to view the body's physical elements as Buddha has described. Now, in the second phase of the aggregate, Buddha said, iti virna samudya, iti virna adhimo. Oh, this is the feeling. Now the feeling has come up. Now it comes and it goes. It arises and it passes. And we see clearly, no feelings are forever in the body. Even in the chronically ill, sick person who is suffering from the chronic incidence of the pain, if you can observe his pain on the maybe some sort of knee joints, and because he's suffering some sort of osteoarthritic pains, he just observe the pain with the mindfulness. He can see the frequency of the continuous frequency of that nagging pain. It just happens with interval, leaving a gap between each other's incidents. And they are not continuous. You can see it is a very wonderful training to observe the feeling. That's how one can view. So it may seem like the second object of the mindfulness meditation, and this one is very much similar. It's actually very similar, very much the same. But in this case, what I want to view it as aggregate, which makes a person complete whole as a component parts. Now, the third one, it is regarding the perception and memory. It is senya, smudo, it is senya atingmo. The Marita see such incidents of the thoughts as perception or the memory. And this as perception, they comes up, and based on thoughts, of me, my family, my friend, and this thought comes up. And this memory, and finally the observing with a very mindful awareness, and it passes. We have to be able to see, and meditator need to be able to see all the process of the memories and thoughts. The moment they come up, the moment they just appear, and the moment they disappear. No thoughts will ever exist, even for a fraction of a second. Whatever comes up and subject to passing away. No one need to get it out. The process itself is quite normal and functional process. In the process of the flowing water in the river, there's no wind which pushes the water down. According to scientific thinking, maybe gravity is pulling down the water. But this is the process. All the currents in the river, in the mountain spring, they just continuously move in based on constant supplies of the water. The melting snow, in the case of the mountains, snow water, and sometimes the big thick forest which provide a moisture and a heavy moisture collection and creates moisture and in the underground aquifers, and the mountain springs come up continuously. If a person have such kind of enlightened understanding, he doesn't see anything to hold on to. There's no way, there's no method to hold on to. Memories are memories. They just come up, they just go. Nothing will ever last, even for a fraction of a second. Everything comes up and then disappear. And then once you see that, this is the way mindfulness is. So now let me explain regarding the fourth one, Sankara Khanda, group of the aggregate of formation and all submental states. In order to completely understand these 50 submental states, you have to study Abhidhamma, basic Abhidhamma, so that you can understand very clearly. Everything is included in this, every mental reaction, good and bad, positive and negative, even the meditation progress, and such as inside knowledge, and the joy, rapture, and the moment of enlightening awareness. And all this belongs to this submental state. All these submental states collectively get referred to as a sankhara. When they arise, the meditators see, oh, these are submental sankharas, and they just arise, and they also cease within a fraction of time. The meditators see this way. Now the consciousness, the fifth aggregates, vijnana khanda. Vijnana khanda also must be viewed as a meditation object. I have explained in some way in the progressive state of meditation how the meditator's mind become very pure, how there are no more pains can arise, no more wandering thoughts, just only very pure and very calm and mindful awareness remain. In this case, that mind itself become the object of meditation. This can be called the vijnana khanda, mindfulness of the vijnana khanda, the fifth aggregate. So that everything is interrelated in the mindfulness meditation. Somehow you are observing that, you are contemplating on that. Nothing is exclusive to each other. And all the act of the meditator's observation is interconnected, in terms of relationship between each object of meditation. So this is how he meditated, observed the five aggregates during meditation. This is called the Dhammanupassana, one section of the Dhammanupassana. Now, let me explain the next piece of the Dhammanupassana. This one is very interesting. It's called observing the base. In Pali, this is called Ayatana. Ayatana is a Pali word, a combination of three. A is a prefix, Yata is the root, and Na means suffix. A is intensifying prefix. It means a lot, and much, or a wide area, or intensely. It intensifies, so it means a lot. It means many ways. Yata means to get engaged, to get involved, to make effort. And Na means add off. Altogether, the word becomes ayatana. So ayatana means base or enlargement, amplification. Don't be confused by this kind of interpretations. They are only our mind and our mental objects. We have the mind, we have the mental objects, the sights, the sounds, the smell, the taste, the touch, and the sensations, all the external world, in our mind are like two interconnected things. The mind is busy monkey. And all those five external things are stimulator. Sometimes our mind can be compared to the very quiet surface of the dry soil and dry earth. The moment a whirlwind comes up, blows up, then the dust out of the quiet surface of the earth comes up. You see a dust storm, very dusty, a dusty storm, a dusty whirlwind come up, like a small funnel or big funnel. You can see it if you have been to a tropical countries in the summer. And this is just only metaphorical expression. The mind normally is just inactive unless there's no stimulation. This can be explained much further. A person under sedation. A person under sedation because he of morphine or because of the some tranquilizer and tranquilizing chemical medication. The mind began dull and lethargic, and the body also began lethargic and sleepy. In such a case, even though you just come and trying to tickle him and trying to make a joke in front of him so that you can make him laugh and smile, he will not respond because the mind is under sedation, the body is under sedation. Even though there is a stimulation outside, and he will not react in an active manner. But for a healthy person, the mind remains active. So in the case, some sort of beautiful sights come up in front of your eye. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, pretty flowers. Oh, this is pretty flower. Oh, this is a pretty person, very handsome guy. Oh, this is a very pretty girl. You start having this kind of visual observation and visual um, uh, uh, recognition. Then you realize, oh, this is pretty. Oh, I think I should have this one. If that flower is good and you want to keep it, So this is how the sights stimulate your desire, your mind. Now let me go to a direct point where you need to learn. So we have the base, internal base and external base. There are 6 internal base. There are 6 external base. 6 plus 6 makes 12. This is what base means. Now let me explain in detail. What are they? What are 6 internal base? The first internal base is called eye. The second internal base is called ear. And the third internal base is called the nose. The fifth internal base and the fourth internal base is called the tongue. The fifth internal base is called the whole body. Number 6 internal base is our great magician, very skillful magician and master magician, known as the Ma. So all these are called 6 internal bases. Now, let me explain 6 external bases. 6 external bases. The first one is called the sides of various description. Beautiful side, ugly sides, unpleasant sides, very unpleasant thing to see, very unpleasant side, and sometimes neutral sides. Neutral sides happen when you are driving on the car, when you are on a moving train, when you are, let's say, on a vehicle. You see everything around you. You just pay attention to a casual observation. You don't go into detail. In this case, all these kind of just only neutral sides. So the sides are the first external base. And the sound, this is the second external base. And the third external base, the smell, good smell and bad smell, very pungent smell, full smell, etc. Very beautiful and very sweet smell. And all these smell are number 3 external base. And number 4 external base. And called the external taste, which usually exists in the food we consume. In Pali, it is much more easier to say. In English, a little bit difficult. So rasa, in Pali, it's called rasa. Now, the fifth external base is called tactile object in English, tactile object. TACTILE, tactile objects. And tactile objects, things of the touch. To put in more simple English, things of the touch, things that comes in contact with your body. So this is number 5 external base. And number 6 external base are all kind of varied things which our mind, our spirit can accept. Is referred to as the Dhamma, but I want to rather translate it English word as a mental objects. The object of the mind, object of the thought. The object of our thoughts are various, located everywhere in the world. We may remember things happened and 20 years ago, or 40 years ago, we may remember some of the best food and the worst food, the worst experience we may have experienced some 3 years ago, 4 years ago, etc. A lot. And all these mental objects, which comes up as the object of mind, as a flashback, is the number 6 page. So all these are interconnected as corresponding point to each other. Now I want to connect. I want to pair these things so that you can understand more easily. For the eye, the sight is the external stimulating base. Our eye is internal base. The sights are external base. The moment our eye comes in contact with the sight of any nature, beautiful or pretty or ugly, pleasant or unpleasant, we start reacting. This is the outcome of the stimulation. So the first way and the first internal and first external are paired together. But please remember, not all eyes are equal. For those people whose eyesights are very poor and very weak, or those people who already lost their eyesight, the first internet base already disappeared for them. They can no longer recognize the sight. So please understand this. Also, even if you have a good eye, in the darkness, without the help of the torchlight or some sort of the lightning equipment, you cannot see, even if the pretty sight comes up in your room. So in order for the eye to see, barrier conditions are necessary. Now let me talk about the second pair. The second pair is ear, internal base, and external base, the sound. They just correspond. The sound come up in the form of the waves, airy waves that go through the air. And you are hearing consciousness, and you are the physical ability to hear the sound, accept the sound. As long as your ear is okay, you can have that corresponding action of these two phases. But for those with the problem of hearing problem, those who have already have the broken eardrum, that's already gone. They cannot hear. Now the third pair, the nose. Actually, even though I refer to as the nose, there is a particular point of the physical body inside the nose, which is very similar to the hoof of a goat, and the junction where the smells are accepted, where the ability to accept the smell exists. This ability is much more important in the whole nose, the whole nose. So as long as that organ is functioning, one can receive the smell, one can know this is a good smell or this is a bad smell. They can distinguish. Otherwise, for someone who can no longer have this smelling capacity, for example, for the people who are handling very strong chemicals such as bleach, and their smelling capacity is slowly lost. So the nose internal base capacity to receive smell, and also external conduct, the smell, physical smell that comes through the air, are two bases paired together. Now let me explain about internal base of the tongue and also the taste. This is I need to take little bit of time so that you can understand. Otherwise, you will not understand what it means. The tongue must have the capacity to feel the taste. For those people who are suffering from some sort of the tongue cancer, or those who used to chew a lot of bitter nuts in the Asian country, such as India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and they already lost that capacity to feel the taste, to enjoy the taste. So normal tongue, it must be normal tongues. And then the taste. The moment we open up our mouth and put the food onto the mouth, then we start chewing it, we feel the taste. So external taste usually exists in the food and every morsel of food we put into the mouth. And the ability to receive the taste, to feel the taste, exists on the surface of the tongue, taste buds. So that those taste buds must be sharp and sensitive. So this internal base and external base are paired together. Now the number five base. Number five base, the body is an internal base. Now the touch with the cold air, the hot sun, and the touch with a very hot object, or touch with something bad, or very soft touch of the cushion, or something nice and soft. All those are external object of touch. They are corresponding to corresponding base. But please remember, if someone lost sensitivity in the body, they can no longer feel the touch. For example, if someone is suffering from some sort of skin disease, chronic skin disease in certain part of the body, or the hairs, the nail, the teeth, then those parts of the body cannot have sensation. Ordinary skin, or ordinary body, which never lost any sensitivity, can receive the touch. Sometimes that touch comes from outside. Sometimes that touch happens inside. When it happens inside our body, it happens in the form of the pain. For example, during the meditation, after 15 minutes sitting, you start feeling the pain, a very hot and very hot sensation under the uh, torso of the button, buttock of the under the lower part of the buttock, and also in the knee joint and the back, etc. In this case, there's no external touch. After a long time sitting, the pains comes up. Sometimes for no reason, you may have a headache or some sort of pain. In this case, no external objects of touch come up. Just only inside something imbalanced physical conditions are the culprit and which cause the pain. So the internal base of the body's sensitivity of the body, which happens everywhere around the body, and external touch object. These two bases correspond to each other. Now number six. Number six internal base or the big base called the mind. The mind is like big property of millionaires. In United States of America, you heard about people, very wealthy people, who own thousands, 100,000s of acres in Texas and Colorado, etc. Big property. Such big property have no fence. It's totally impossible to fence around. The mind is like that. I'm just only explaining you using a metaphorical statement. The mind is like a big property. It's a vast stretch of land where any wild animal come up, can come up anytime to cause a problem. You cannot fence around. The only way you can fence around, you can keep it secure. Is very difficult. So I want to explain you. The mind is the internet base. It's like a very powerful radio telescope and with a very powerful satellite dish, which can accept all the signals come from the whole world and from external sky, external space. Our mind is very powerful. It can accept every thought, every imaginable experience. So every experience we may have, every imaginable experience our mind can have. These are external mental objects, and the mind is internal base. Outside external mental objects are external objects. This is called the number six. These are not physical. For example, during the meditation, you may hear sometimes the image of your mother or father or some of the maybe saying or someone, or maybe you are in the big sky on the top of the big mountain. You may be there during your meditation. They are all mental image. They are not real. That's why meditators are they need a lot of guidance from a good teacher. When meditator has such kind of imaginative experience based on the mind, meditator must be instructed to observe them, letting go, instead of holding on to them. Otherwise, it can create a lot of problems. So, the mind itself and the mental objects are the two base. All these six bases together, combined together, and makes 12 bases. Now, let me explain this, that base explanation. Okay, let's have a break now. Let's have a break. Let's resume. I hope everybody's in.
Yeah, I think we're all here.
Okay. Now let me continue how we meditate again, contemplate on the Ayatana-based Dhammanupassana meditation. In order to explain that, I just explained the pairing of the six internal bases and six external bases. We are at the mind and the external mental objects. The mind is internal base. The mental objects are external objects. Altogether, we have the 12 bases. Now, what to do? What Buddha said is very simple and very easy to observe. Now, let me quote Pali words which comes in the Mahastipatthana Sutta. Chakonja Bhajanadi Rupeja Bhajanadi. A meditator must see the I as the I base, and also the sight that comes in contact, not in the form of my eye, not in the form of that person or this person, etc. The object, without referring it in terms of the person. Just see it, the eye and the sight, and now seeing this. And based on seeing, the reactions arise. Jancha Dadubriyam Pradeja obesity Sanyojana Tenja Bachanadi. Based on the contact of the eye with the sight, the desire may arise. Sometimes anger may arise if the sight is unpleasant. And note that mental state which comes up the moment one sees the object, and let go of it and try to maintain mindfulness. Yatha cha anupanasa sanyojanata uparahoti tenja bhajanadi. Trying to maintain mindfulness, and this way any negative reaction rather than mindfulness will not come up. And this way, one can maintain constant mindfulness. This is a practical, simple instruction. Now let me repeat again. What Buddha says that the moment we see something during meditation, well, let's say not in sitting meditation, in a walking meditation, or just only conducting oneself, just such as going to the meal house to have meal or going back to one's place, you will see one see something, some visual object on the way. Just notice seeing, seeing, seeing. Let seeings be seeings. Don't let other subsequent thoughts arise. This way, it prevents desire or aversion from arising. Even if it may arise, a meditator must be alert and watchful by maintaining mindfulness and just let go of it. That's the instruction. So it's very detailed and also very deep wisdom, uh, very deep wisdom of the Buddha. Similarly, the second pair of the base with the ear and the sound. When the sounds come in contact with the ear, you just notice the hearing, not the sound, pleasant sound, unpleasant sound. Don't distinguish. Instead, you just focus, casually note it as a sound, and let there be no reaction. Even if there arises any reaction come up, such as desire, because it is a very pleasant musical sound, or aversion, because it is a disturbing noise of a barking door, etc. Don't react in terms of anger, in terms of the uh, desire or attachment. Just let go of it, any mental reaction whenever one hear the sound. This way, one will be able to the, overcome the defilement. This way, one will be able to prevent defilements from arising in the mental flow. So this is what Buddha instruct, and regarding the ear and the hearing sound. Now the nose, and also when you get the smell, maybe some sort of bad smell, good smell, moldy smell, or whatever smell it might has got the sense of smell, and then just note it, don't react. If the reaction arise, mental reaction thoughts arise, just note it and let go of any kind of attachment or aversion arise, and prevent or development from arising further by maintaining mindfulness. Now, the third pair, uh, the fourth pair, or the tongue and the taste. This is usually can be observed. In Mahasiddhana Sutta, this Buddha only no casually mentioned Seiwansa Pajanadi, Rasecha Pajanadi. One must know one's tongue. One must know tongue. One must know the taste. In contact of the taste with the tongue, and one start feeling and the taste, and one start having desire or the aversion, etc. And just let go of any reaction whenever it arises, and maintain mindfulness. This way, it can prevent from the incidence of the defilements. We can practice, we can try this training during the mindfulness meditation retreat, especially the eating a breakfast, daily breakfast or daily lunch. During meditation, mindfulness eating is very wonderful training. It's one of the very wonderful training. If you are able to practice mindfulness eating, then you can manage the food and the way you eat, the way you choose the right food. Even if the food is not good, you can just eat it with mindfulness, without making any kind of problem, without having any kind of negative reaction. So this is also part of the mindfulness meditation. One must know the tongue, the taste, and also the subsequent mental reaction, and just note it down the moment they arise. Don't let our negative mental states come up again. And this is a very detailed um, instruction regarding the eating and regarding the time, the taste. Now the body is the sensation. The body, whenever it comes in contact with the object of the touch, or when something goes wrong inside the body, the sensations arise. Normally, we used to react. Everybody used to react. A meditator must be able to observe the sensation which comes out of the contact of the body with the object of the touch. And just note it. If the pleasant, based on the pleasant sensation, desire rise or attachment or craving rise. Based on unpleasant, painful sensation, anger or aversion rise, and just note it. Note it down and don't let negative incidents come up and simply let go. This is what Buddha instruct regarding the fifth pair of the two bases. Now the mind, internal base, and minded objects. As I explained you earlier, the mind is very powerful, which can receive every signal and every experience. So in order to keep the mind free from all the negative thoughts, you just maintain mindful observation of the mental thoughts, mental uh, remembering, mental flashback. Just note it the moment you start having thoughts by mindfulness. And you slowly meditate will make progress, will be able to purify the mind. And purification of the mind uh, is a long-term process. Long-term process. Now this is the instruction regarding ayatana base, Dhammanupassana meditation. It's very detailed. If you are familiar with the Pali language, you will be very amazed how the Buddha instruct in detail. Now let me conclude regarding this. Now let me go ahead to the next page. And the fourth branch of the Dhammanupassana meditation is called the factors of enlightenment. Factors of enlightenment, I hope some of you may be quite familiar. 7 factors of enlightenment. There are 7 factors of enlightenment. And these 7 factors of enlightenment are important. Every serious meditator should know it. What are they? And how they can help progress in one's spiritual practice, how they can be developed, etc. There are 7, as I mentioned you, and the first one is called Sati Bojjhanga. Sati means mindfulness itself. This is like the capital of the meditator. Capital means like that when you are doing business, you need to have the capital money. You need to have the base money so that you can start business. You can start making money. In the same way, a meditator needs to make progress and benefit by his practice. As a base investment, base capital, he need to have this mindfulness. So this is the first Bojjhanga as a base. Now second is called Dhamma Vicaya. Dhamma Vicaya is a Pali term. Actually, it is an observation, every era of observation. And subsequent understanding of the mental and physical elements in a very distinctive form. One starts seeing this kind of 2 distinctive components corresponding and coordinating in the process of meditation. And slowly the knowledge develops. This is called the second Bojjhanga, known as the Dhamma Vicaya. And observing all the metaphysical phenomena and being able to see mental and physical elements as distinct from each other, just only corresponding components, two corresponding components. So this is the second bojjhanga. And the third is called virya. Virya means effort. In this case, effort are twofold: physical effort and mental effort. Physical effort is that which make by means of your body. For example, you come to study, to marvel, or you come to participate in the yearly New Year retreat and in the marvel, you have to come out from your home by making effort, by taking time off from your work. This is the physical effort. Once you are in the retreat center, you have to prepare, you have to follow all the instructions according to schedule, wake up early, and go to the sitting hall and sit together. When it's time for the break, you just get out, you just do walking meditation so that you can relieve your tension, you can stretch yourself up. And all these are physical efforts. This physical effort is more apparent and more dominant in walking meditation. Mental effort, the second is called mental effort. Mental effort is the every act of the observation, every act of mindful observation. This is mental effort. Mental effort is also important. Both mental effort and physical efforts are called the Viriya Bhujima. They are also fed out enlightenment. A meditator needs to maintain mindfulness and effort as a base component, as a capital in Bhujangas. They are not to be found in the Buddhist text. They are to be found inside yourself, inside ourselves. So this is called number 3, Bhujanga. And number 4 is called piti. Piti means rapture, joy. This normally will not happen in the initial phase, in the struggling phase of the meditator's meditation effort. This will come later on, let's say after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, after a meditator make substantial progress by overcoming wandering thought, by overcoming constant incidents of the pain, and slowly the mind start coming down. And only after those kind of challenge are overcome, the rupture can happen. So this rupture, once it comes up, it is made us the best moments in his practice. Meditator start enjoying his practice. Oh, wonderful. This is really amazing. So he start enjoying, appreciating his good work, hard work. So Piti Bhujanga is a later result, which happen after sustaining effort of meditation. So Piti Bhujanga, once it happens, it's very interesting how it comes up. Now number 5 is called Passaddhi. Passaddhi, I explained you a little bit about it in the today's morning session. These are very much interrelated. They are like the twins. They just come up simultaneously. Without piti, there's no passaddhi. Without passaddhi, there's no piti. Bodily calm and mental calm happen. The moment it happened, and the joy, rapture happened. So these two bhujangas are like the very wonderful experience of a meditator. After that, Number 6 is called Samadhi Bhujenga. Samadhi Bhujenga actually is Samadhi, concentration. Concentration is that which we, a meditator, is striving for. The purpose of the meditation is to keep the mind calm, to keep the mind focused, to keep the mind fixed and still. This natural process of the mind being fixed and being still is called what's called the samadhi. This Bali word, samadhi, is a combination of three words, san, da, and then it, 4 words. San means well, means deeply, da means settle, it means add of firmly and deeply settle or establish. In order to understand what samadhi means, I want to explain to you by use of a metaphorical statement. Samadhi is translated as in concentration. It is the ability of the mind to remain calm and still in the object of meditation. This is a very simple explanation. The mind is normally very restless, very hyperactive. In order to bring the mind to such a calm and peaceful state, we have to make a lot of effort. That's why meditation is not easy for the beginners. Only for experienced, committed meditator, meditation is enjoyable. Otherwise, it is very challenging. But we don't need to be afraid of it. We may try our best and make a necessary effort so that we can benefit our lives in many ways. Now I want to tell you a metaphorical expression. In the child, for every child, I don't know, you may be quite familiar or not. They may have played with some sort of the spinning toy. This kind of the toy is called the top. English word top, T-O-V. And this top is like a knob. Knob, what the base is like a spoke of the bicycle wheel. Small, about a 2 or maybe 3 inch, 2 inches, etc. And that knob is made of the wood, and there is a just let's say a 5 feet or 5 feet or 3 feet of the string attached to it. And when a child want to play the top, he just pull the string, he just throw it down on the earth. It just fall down. It start spinning around, spinning around. In the beginning process of spinning of the top, it is very shaky and swaying side to side. Later on, when it gain the momentum of the spin, it remains still. It looks like as if it's standing still. The mind is like that. In the beginning process, it's very shaky, moving from one object to another object, wandering or thinking about this and that. And when a meditator make a sufficient effort, then the mind becomes calm and settled. The mind slowly began absorbed in the object of meditation. In Buddhist texts, especially in Mahasatiparana Sutta discourse, Buddha used a metaphorical example of let's say, potter. The original word is not a potter actually. Pamakarantiwa. And Buddha used the term. Pama means some sort of the railing used in the letters. We see the circular, round, bar shape of the wood. In order to have that kind of wood shape, the wood maker has to turn a wheel and holding the piece of wood, and at the same time using the saw and chisel so that it becomes round. and it's a circular shape. When he's pressing the wheel, pressing the lever in a quick succession, and the wheel turn around quickly. When he just press the lever slowly, the wheel turns slowly. A meditator's effort is like that. When he make the long breath, he must be aware of the long breath. When he make a short breath, he must know this a short breath. But what's important is that to make a effort. So samadhi bhujanga, let me recap again. Samadhi bhujanga, samadhi is a concentration, the ability of the mind to remain fixed and to remain calm and still on the object of meditation. This samadhi, I explained you three. Yesterday I explained you about three state of the three category of the samadhi: Khanika samadhi, Upachara samadhi, Apana samadhi. Now let me explain you another category. This is also very relevant for meditator to understand. This is more understandable. And the yesterday's three category of the samadhi I explained is based on the duration and sustained power of the concentration. Today, I'm going to explain about the combined aspect of the samadhi. The past degree of samadhi is called concentration with initial thoughts and recurrent thoughts are still present. What does it mean? Most meditators nowadays, they practice meditation. Sometimes they have thoughts, initial thoughts and some recurrent thoughts. At the same time, they, let's say, after a while of the thoughts subside, they can keep their mind fixed on the object of meditation. They have already developed concentration, but this concentration is still interrupted with the initial thought and recurrent thoughts. So we cannot disappoint ourselves by thinking that, oh, my concentration not developed yet. I'm not making substantial progress yet. Don't think that way. Even if we may have developed concentration once for, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we may still have wandering thoughts, recurring thoughts. This kind of the concentration is called Savidaka Savichara Samadhi. Concentration with the initial thought and recurrent thought still present. And the second degree of thought, Avistaka Vichara Mata Samadhi. This is a technical Pali term. It means that concentration without gross interrupted thoughts, but still very minor incidents of thought. This happens when a meditator makes a substantial amount of progress. He may have some very rare occasional thoughts, but he can observe it. He can simply let go of it. Sometimes a very experienced meditator in a progressive state can even know the moment, even before the thoughts arrive. Oh, the thoughts are coming out. And he just pick it up and let go. He can let go of it. Later on, in very more progressive state, no more thoughts, just only concentration. So this is called Avitaka Ucharamada Samadhi. This has become very strong. Now the last one. The last one is the strongest. Avitaka Auchara Samadhi. There is no more thought, no more even slight, very minor thoughts. Only concentrated mind, completely absorbed, completely still, completely calm, completely fixed in object in the meditation process. This is usually happen if when a person is about to enter into absorption state, or while during an absorption state, or while during the cessation state of the enlightened saints. This is the third and the highest one. We may not be able to develop to reach that power, that high, but we can still develop the first and the second kind of the concentration. So meditation is a very wonderful pursuit. What we need to do is that we have to have determination, dedicated interest, and sincere goodwill to explore, to practice it. Okay, now this is called number 6, pedal enlightenment, samadhi bhujanga. Now the last one. The last one, the 7th, is called upekha sambhujanga. Upekha, people in the books, in the Buddhist the books in English, they try to interpret as the equanimity or equilibrium. This is the last one. In order to understand this, I want to use an example of an aeroplane. An aeroplane, once it is a ball, and once it is in the course to the destination, and the pilot no longer make an intentional effort. He just put everything in autopilot. And driving by autopilot, all the mechanism is on autopilot. The plane moves all the way, hundreds of miles, thousands of miles to destination. The same can be explained regarding upekha sambhujanga. When a meditator make necessary progress during the course of his intensive retreat, meditation itself is there. There is no more meditation. There is no more meditator. There is no more intentional effort. Just mindfulness taking over all the process of observation. And this is what's called upekha. It's more practical. Now, equanimity or equilibrium are very technical. You may not understand what it means. So all meditation process is going smooth on autopilot. Meditation process is a really wonderful process. Everything is going on of its own accord. No efforts are necessary anymore. Meditators enjoying all the meditation activities without feeling tension, without feeling discomfort, without feeling any kind of pressure, because his meditation have already made substantial progress. This is what upekha sambhujanga means. So I have already explained these 7 factors of enlightenment. Now, what Buddha instruct is very simple. Let me quote a few words before we have a break time. Ida bhikkhve bhikkhu santanwa sri sambhujanga attime sri sambhujanga di bhajanadi santanwa sri sambhujanga natime sri sambhujanga di bhajanadi. During meditation or mindfulness meditation, a meditator can clearly see whether mindfulness is still present in the meditation process or not. Based on the situation, he must know. If there is no mindfulness present there, he must make effort so that mindfulness is maintained. If the mindfulness is already there, he must continuously sustain it so that there's no interruption. Yathacha anupanada sri sambhujingata uparo hoti tenjapsanadi. He must also know how one can develop this mindfulness factor. Yathacha upanasa Sisa Mojingada Bhavana Baribu Horitin Sabnari. He must also know how developed mindfulness can be sustained for longer duration. This is a brief instruction regarding the fast Bojinga. Buddha gave the instruction to all regarding all the 7 fetters of enlightenment and similarly. He explained in detail without leaving any stone unturned. It's a very detailed explanation. So when a person practices mindfulness meditation, he must also know the factors of enlightenment, such as the mental alertness, the mental effort and physical effort, and the presence of concentration or not, and joy and rapture, the more bodily calm and mental calm, the moment they arise, or equal mental equilibrium state. He must know all these the moment they arise. Their distinctive nature, must know it. If there's no such petals of enlightenment yet, he must know how to improve, how to develop it, how to sustain it. The moment they develop. So the mindfulness meditation in this case, even the factors of enlightenment are the object of meditation. This happens in progressive stage of meditation, not initial phase of the meditation. So Dhammanupassana usually covers non-progressive initial stage and progressive later stage. So I have already explained you the Bujinga, 7 factors of enlightenment, how a meditator need to contemplate by using mindfulness meditation. Now, the last one, the last branch of the Dhammanupassana. These are 4 novel truths by themselves. You may never heard about that. 4 novel truths, and the knowledge of them are also to be observed. The moment a person makes a real substantial progress, when he is about to enter into the supreme bliss, and when he is coming out of the enjoying the supreme bliss, he must be able to observe all those kind of progressive mental phenomena which come up as the form of the knowledge of the truth, 4 noble truths, and how they come up, how they also pass. And this is the very deep level of teaching. So the knowledge of 4 noble truths and 4 noble truths are the object of mindfulness meditation. I want to give it a brief because if I'm trying to explain how one should contemplate on these 4 noble truths, it will be quite exhausted because you are just only beginners. You just only need to familiarize with the basic knowledge regarding the meditation. I have taken much time regarding the explanation of the meditation and mindfulness meditation, especially in this case, number 4 object of meditation. I hope this should be all right. This should be enough for you. Now, let's recap. The object of Vipassana meditations is for body, sensation, mind, and various mental and physical phenomena. To keep it more easy and simple to remember for you, I want to say body-based mindfulness meditation, pain-based mindfulness meditation, or mind-based mindfulness meditation, various mental physical phenomena-based mindfulness meditation. All these are 4 mindfulness meditation. Sometimes it's called 4 foundations of mindfulness. Actually, they are 4 objects of the meditation, Vipassana meditation. Okay, now let me explain. Let me go ahead to the next phrase. Let's turn to next page. Next page. Okay. A Vipassana meditator need to focus on these four objects, but he doesn't need to observe these four, just only one object as a primary whole object. The others are secondary objects. Slowly, he will be able to pick up like a racket ball in the tennis or the badminton. He can, in the beginning, the player make a lot of effort. Later on, he knows the direction of the racket. He can pick up, he can hit back without fail. In the same way, when a meditator make a progress and develop mindfulness skill, he can proceed smoothly go ahead with his meditation practice. That's what I want to encourage you. Now, on the note, you see the results, regarding results. The meditator develop the necessary mindfulness skill to observe whatever mental or physical phenomena arise without reacting in aversion or attachment. Such a detached mindfulness awareness can further lead to development of various stages of insight and knowledge. These are just only brief notes. Later on, you will understand. Now, the question, are the samatha and vipassana meditation similar or different? You can you can read these notes, and they are not difficult to remember. And samatha and vipassana basically very much the same. They just work on the same goal to establish concentration. Once a person get a sustained degree of concentration, he trying to develop further. He trying to make progress, further progress. By for samatha meditator, they have to reflect on the three characteristics. In Buddha's time, because the Buddha himself is a powerful teacher with a lot of strong psychic, infinite power. So most people, they make good progress by reflecting on the three characteristics. There is about one guy who practiced meditation using a handkerchief, very pure, very clean handkerchief. He just hold it, rub it around, saying handkerchief, handkerchief. That handkerchief, after rubbing long period, let's say 1 hour, 2 hour, it start getting swell and stain. He just start seeing the impermanent nature of that. Then the Buddha gave instruction, necessary instruction, by using some sort of remote control, remote teaching. In this case, Buddha used his psychic power, psychic ability. Buddha talked to that meditator from a great distance while he is living in his own quarter. The sound traveled to his place, and he can hear, he can communicate, he can go ahead, he can make progress. Okay, now samatha meditation, vipassana meditation, they can change. Samatha meditation can change into vipassana. That's what is said in the note. Vipassana meditation, it doesn't need to change intentionally. Samatha meditation can change to vipassana by reflecting on the impermanent nature and three characteristics. You have already understanding about that. Now the benefits of vipassana. This is very important. This is very important. And let's have a break. In the next session, I want to explain this in detail. Benefits of vipassana meditation. Please try to remember. Okay, now let's have a break. Okay, now let's resume. Now in the notes, you are seeing the 7 benefits of vipassana meditation. They are only brief categorization of the certain organs of long-term meditation. Even if one may not attain enlightenment, one can get some benefits. Now let me explain what are they. These benefits are said by the Buddha in the Mahastipatthana Sutta discourse. And the first benefit is purification of the mind. How the mind become purified. This is something we should know. The mind is, as I explained you earlier, Original mind of the people, including the animal, are very innocent and pure. But that innocent mind is contaminated by temporary pollutants. Those temporary pollutants are known as kilesa in Pali. Kilesa is Pali word. It comes from the root word kilesa. Kilesa means things that which make you stress out, that which make you feeling upset and agitated. There are altogether 10 defilements, even though there are lots. Basic major ones are desire, no ordinary desire. The desire to do something, desire to study, desire to meditate, desire to go out, these are okay. This happens in the form of the strong attachment and craving, such as lust and craving this and that. So, the first one is called the raga, and the second one is called the dosa. Dosa is interpreted as the anger, and the third one is called the delusion or ignorance, and the fourth one is called the conceit. Actually, the conceit has different level. Some conceits are not noticeable. For example, in Buddhist text, everything about conceit is explained on different levels for different people. Poor man, anonymous man, a homeless person has its own conceit. We normally understand that conceit and arrogance happens only in some successful people who will make some sort of accomplishment, achievement, etc. So conceit happens in different kind of level. And uh, the fifth one is called view. View, in this case, religious views, some notions, and whatever. All these are called views, especially wrong views. And doubt, and also holding on to wrong thing as truth. These are just only mental states. And doubt and restlessness, etc. All these are called defilement. Actually, jealousy and other mental states are included. Now, if you want to know about the mental development, you have to study Buddhist psychology regarding the positive mind and negative minds, and positive sub-mental states and negative sub-mental states. Once you are familiar with all those explanation, you will know the mental pollutants, what are mental pollutants, etc. So our mind always suffer by those kind of uh, ignorance and craving, anger, sadness, grief, jealousy, restlessness, confusion, etc. Purification of the mind is a time-consuming and labor-intensive process which needs a lot of determinations and effort. So I want to give you a brief. Purification of the mind is the first benefit. To purify the mind, you need to use the mind as as a cleansing agent. Cleansing agent of purification of the mind is the mind itself. In this case, not ordinary mind, meditative mind. Your mind itself. You have to transform that mind into mindfulness, observing mind, detached mind, without any notions of robot or journey, etc. Just have this mindfulness to purify the mind. Make necessary effort by means of making right effort and developing the fetters of enlightenment and trying to work on the Noble Eightfold Paths. These Noble Eightfold Paths are also easy to understand. I hope some of you are already familiar. So by using this spiritual path, these fetters of enlightenment, you can slowly purify. When we are making effort, it is quite challenging because you don't know how much purity you have gained, how much cleansing process you have done. Like that, I mentioned you by using an example of doing laundry. I think in the previous month section, I explained about that. When we are doing spiritual laundry called meditation, we have to make effort. We cannot know how much progress we have made because the mind is something we cannot see. But it's something we can see like our clothes. Our clothes, we purify our clothes once a week by tossing into the washing machine and by putting some detergent and just turn on the switch. And it's ready to go and it's done. But in the ancient time, before the washing machines are invented, the dhobi man and the laundry man, they have to soak the clothes with water, put in some sort of the soap powder, or rub it with a solid soap bar, and they just have to strike, making a lot of effort by using a pestle. They have to make a lot of effort, very labor intensive. Later, they just squeeze out and they put in water again, and they just squeeze out. They see how much purity the clothes are now having. This is physical laundry. The meditation is spiritual laundry, mental laundry. Mental laundry is much more labor intensive. It needs patience, determination, perseverance, and long-term effort. So the first benefit is purification of the mind. You will not notice how much purity your mind has. But for people who are very much committed and regular meditator, they can notice it. One example I want to tell you. You just watch when the moment anger arises. In certain situation, in your home or in your workplace, you may have some very angry situation which cause you anger or frustration, such as at lockdown, today's lockdown time. Some people, they got a lot of frustration. They don't know how to cope with that kind of lockdown, confinement. So they just drink and they just do this and that aimlessly. The meditators, I committed meditator can see the moment frustration arises, the moment restlessness come up, the moment anger arises, just observe it, just simply let go of it. This way he can notice it, the beauty of the mind, but will be less and less of the anger arising in the mind. This is how much progress he had made. Those long-term meditators, they can see their face, their physical behavior is very composed. Now, number two benefit is overcoming sorrow. Sorrow and sadness is the major mental problem for people in the world. Most people, they cannot overcome, they cannot deal with the sorrow and sadness and grief. For meditator, if they are already experienced, they have developed necessary mindfulness skill, they can observe that sadness the moment it comes up. In Buddhist texts, especially in Buddhist psychology, sadness or sorrow or grief are categorized as there is weak form of anger, non-aggressive, weak anger. And aggressive anger is anger. This form of sadness, which happens is weak form of anger, is clearly explained. So you just observe that sadness, the moment it comes up, you see how that sadness come up inside your body, especially if you look at the set mental condition. You just know it warm and slowly warm and burning mental state happening in the chest area or in the head. You start feeling warm, and you notice, and slowly heart is shaking, and then something like a wave come up. You just pick up it quickly. See, feeling sad. You just trying to simply pick it up and grab it by mindfulness, and then just let go, and then you will be able slowly to overcome sadness. But for most meditators, observing, not only observing and by mindfulness, they also understand that everything in life is not stable. Everything in life is just only changeable, anytime, anywhere, under any circumstance. So they just know that, reflect on the impermanent nature of things. They just cope, trying to cope with the sadness. Mindfulness meditation, in this case, is a practical spiritual tool which we can use. And this is how a meditator can overcome sorrow. In Buddha's time, there's a lady. That lady lost her husband, her two children, in the same day under the tragic condition. And she was on the way back to visit to her parents and brothers living in the big city where the Buddha is staying. She lost the family members in the heavy rains, and the children are uh, carried away by the river current. One youngest one is snatched by the eagle, and her husband and died because the snake bites and the heavy rain. So she doesn't know what to do. She just move on with a lot of sorrow. And once she is near to her city, she saw someone coming from the city. She asked the question, do you know such and such a person living in such and such a quarter of the city? And that guy said, don't ask this question. She replied, please be patient with me because I want to know their condition, their well-being. Please answer. Are they well? And for a second time, the guy said, no, please don't ask this question. He refused. For the third time, she humbly requests, please, out of compassion, please answer this question. You press me with this question. Now I'm going to answer you. Do you see last night heavy rains and lightning strike everywhere? Yes, I saw that rain bring a lot of misfortune to me. Yes. Now I want to answer you something I don't want to tell. When the lightning and heavy rains come up, lightning strike that family's house, and all the family members pass away. And because of thunder strike, the whole house burned down, and the family perished through that thunder strike. And when she hear that answer from the stranger from that city, she lost her consciousness. She lost her consciousness. She threw away all her clothes. She threw away all her clothes. She doesn't know what to do. Her mind ran out. She became crazy, and she crying all the way. She go back. She go toward the city. Oh, my family is gone. Now all my family is gone. I'm alone in this world. And so crying, such a sad situation. She just move around in the city, not knowing how to eat, not knowing to go to use toilet. She lost her consciousness. And then she, fortunately, she uh, happened to pass over near the Buddha. During that time, the Buddha is giving Dhamma talk with a large audience. And people in the audience, in the crowd, saw that lady, a very unfortunate lady coming up with no clothes on. And people are branding her. Mad woman, don't come here, don't come here. Then Buddha said, let her come. Buddha told that audience, don't prevent her from coming. Please let her come. Because the Buddha instructed by himself, so no one dared to ask her to leave. So she just came and sit down on the edge of the crowd with no clothes on. Then Buddha called her name. Buddha called her name. Actually, Buddha never seen her before. Only by use of his psychic power, Buddha know the name of the lady. Now, come back and wake up. Look at yourself. Watch out your surrounding. Buddha said this word. Then she regained her normal consciousness. She started knowing that she's naked without any clothes on. Then she just squat and near on the edge of the crowd. Then one gentleman just toss to her some upper ropes so that she can cover herself up. So she covered herself up with the body, and then she approached the Buddha. Please help me. My family is gone, and they die in tragic accident. All the family members living in the city also passed away in a very tragic situation. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And his life is too harsh for me. It's too cruel for me. And when she said this word, Buddha just gave her the motto. At the end of the Dhamma, she began the fast, she attained the fast stage of enlightenment. So she became a monk to keep the stories brief. She became a monk and she practiced meditation. She attained enlightenment, the last stage of enlightenment. She became a saint. Her name is called the Patachari. Patachari means the lady with the skillful behavior. She is expert in the monastic Bhikkhuni monastic codes. She was placed in the Idiraga, the highest position in the Buddhist community among the uh, lady monastic. Her name is very well known as the Patachari. So she overcome the sorrow. The moment she hear Buddha's teaching, later on she attained enlightenment. There are a lot of things. Actually, I have my own experience to talk about how the meditation can overcome the sorrow. Within 3 months' time, I lost three important people in my life. During that time, I'm already finished my mindfulness meditation as a beginner for 3 months intensive retreat. After that, when I came out of the center, I had my important person pass away. Very helpful and very nice person. And later on, my sister passed away. Only 3 months, within 3 months' time, very important person pass away. It's a really a very shocking experience, but I can overcome it. I can deal with the uh, grief through mindfulness meditation. This is my own experience. Now, number 3, overcoming limitation. I want to explain these 2 and 3. Number 2 is literally internal emotion. Internal emotion when they arise in the mind. So in short, number 2 benefit means overcoming of the emotion. Number 3 is external outburst of the emotions. I think in the note we have the explanation regarding this. You can read through this. Overcoming limitation is not only crying and shedding tears, reacting based on anger, based on one's own mental states. This can be overcome. So number 4, overcoming physical suffering. How one can overcome physical suffering? Most people, they cannot cope with the physical suffering. The experienced, skilled meditator, committed meditators, they can observe the mental reaction the moment they have to live through the physical suffering. They can accept it. They can cope with it. So overcoming mental suffering, number 5 benefit is also simple and easy to understand. mental suffering and happiness and stress. And now number 6, to realize the noble spiritual part, we have to read through. We have to read through the note and turn next page. First benefit refer to the development of mental ability. Second benefit, and the third benefit refers to physical reaction. The fourth benefit, and the second benefit, the inner emotional mental states, such as anger and so on, which used to come up in the mind. And the third benefit refers to the physical reaction, which usually come out being based on the inner emotions. And the fourth benefit refers to the ability to cope with the physical stress and physical suffering associated with the physical bodily experience of the human life. Or the fifth benefit refers to calm, stable, detached inner mental serenity, being unaffected by the physical conditions of life. So this number 5 benefit explanation is also, I hope, easy enough for you. Now let me explain the number 6, to attain the noble part. In Buddhist text, this number 6 benefit is called Nyaya Digmaya. Nyaya, the term Nyaya is interpreted as the part. Nyaya in Pali. Nyaya means the part. Sa means of or to. Digmaya means to realize, to be on. So to be on the spiritual, right spiritual path, to attain the spiritual path, noble spiritual path. What does it mean? The noble path is the way we live life, the way we manage our mind, the way we think, the way we deal with the situation of life. So it's very broad meaning. Nyaya can be interpreted as the path or the way or the method or the manner by which we handle something. In this case, the way we live, the way we cope with, the way we deal with uh, all the situations of life. In this case, what Buddha says, Nyayasa, a noble path, a noble way, noble path which leads to attainment of the spiritual goal. In this case, a spiritual goal is peace and freedom, mental freedom and intellectual freedom. The freedom of mind, freedom of the intellect, which is liberated, totally liberated from constant harassment, constant shackle, constant chain of mental, impure mental states. These impure mental states always cause problem in our life. And these mental states will be overcome by long-term committed meditation practice. Even though we may notice the incidence of the developments in the beginning phase, later on they will become less and less. Here is one important example set by the Buddha in one of the Buddhist and discourse set by the Buddha regarding the long-term meditation practice. Buddha used two metaphorical expressions. The first one is the ships anchoring ropes. Ships anchoring ropes nowadays are made of the steel chains. In the ancient time, they used ordinary ropes made of the coconut shell. Coconut shell. These coconut shell fibers are also very strong. These anchoring ropes, they use when they are dropping the anchor in the particular port of the entry. And they just tie it to the boat, board, and dock board, and they just keep the boats in the water so that it doesn't float down. This kind of the anchoring ropes seem to be very, very strong and movable, and when it looks like they cannot be cut, they cannot be loosened because they look very strong. They are knotted and tied repeatedly in different layer of the uh, fibers and different layer of the weaving. But long-term use of those anchoring ropes, which are in constant contact with the seawater and rainwater, where the ship is setting sail on the high sea, when the ship is entering into the port. After long-term use, after long-term contact with the salty water of the sea, and they start loosening their strength. They start loosening their grabbing power. And slowly, slowly, they become weaker and weaker. And later on, the sailors has to throw away those kind of strong ropes because they are no longer usable. This is the one example shown by the Buddha. Another example is the handle of the wood chisel, handle of the saw, or carpenter's tool in the ancient time. In the ancient time, they don't have the electrical saw, electrical planes, and any kind of laser measurement method. They have to use very rudimentary tools and equipment. In the wooden chisel, the handle is made out of the woods. Also, the handsaw, the handle is made out of the wood. After long-term handling of the wood chisel handle, the finger marks start appearing up on the handle of the wood chisel. You see the thumb impression and finger impression, index finger, middle finger impression, small finger impression. You see all these kind of marks slowly coming out. It's very polished, even though there's no more polishing liquid, no more varnish in the ancient time. And the same way, when a meditator is making sustaining long-term efforts and mindfulness, mindful observation of the development, those development start slowly, slowly uh, uh, losing their hold on the mind. They become weaker and weaker, and later on, the incidence of the defilement, such as anger or craving, etc., slowly lessen and lessen, and it become infrequent. So the mind became pure. The mind gained some purity, some substantial degree of purity and clarity and strength. This is how Buddha beautifully and wisely explained regarding the outcome of long-term benefits of mindfulness meditation. Once you understand that, you will be very much amazed at the Buddha's deep wisdom. He is very realistic. Buddha is very realistic and very much practical minded in his teaching regarding the purification of the mind. So wonderful. You will admire his teaching. Now let me continue to explain the benefit. The fourth benefit and the fifth benefit already explained. And the sixth benefit is a noble path, to attain the noble path, meaning to be on the right spiritual path, to be there always. The moment you set your foot and your feet on the right path, you are already there. Making every step all the way until you reach your spiritual destination. You make your mindfulness effort consistently without interruption. Then you are on the right track. And eventually, all the mindfulness effort, which happens in the form of the spiritual steps, will lead us to attainment of the peace, freedom, and mental serenity and mental glory, known as the Vimukti, freedom, and Nibbana, supreme bliss. That's what it means. Now, the last and the seventh one, to attain the Nibbana. To attain the Nibbana is a very heavy word. I want to explain about it in the coming chapter, not now, but at the moment, I want to explain to you a very inspiring story, very inspiring incident happened in Buddha's life. Regarding this, I would like to tell you, because this is a very special story, very special incident regarding the ability of the mind of the enlightened saints, how their mind looks like. This is only one partial story. Actually, there are many inspiring things. Once our Buddha was traveling on the Kushina region in today's time, Uttar Pradesh. If you have been to the India, you will know on the pilgrimage. Kushinara is the place where Buddha entered into the brain nirvana. It is in the northeast part of the India. It's called the UP. So when Buddha was traveling, he just take a rest on the roadside after traveling under the shade of the tree. While he was there, sitting there, a gentleman named Pokusha. Pokusha is belong to the kingdom and the family of Mala kingdom. So he just saw the Buddha sitting near under the shade of the tree. He just approached and he just paid respect to the Buddha. He sat down there and he start sharing his experience to the Buddha. What he says that, Lord Buddha, my teacher is Alara. I heard about what he said once. What he says is that once he was sitting on the roadside, and like the way you do sit here, and at the shade of a tree, he sat there for the whole day, enjoying his meditation practice there, and entering into his deep concentration, known as the Arupa Jhana. Then 500 bullocks full of merchandise, a, a merchant caravan of the 500 bullocks passed by. And someone coming after that caravan saw Venerable Alara sitting there. He just approached. Sir, have you seen a merchant caravan with the 500 bullocks passing by this road and making a lot of noise and causing dusty situation? He asked this question. Then Venerable Alara answered, no, I didn't see it. If you haven't seen it passing by, did you ever notice the sound of the bulls and sound of people the sound of the bull gods? No. He answered, are you in deep sleep? No. He answered, are you in a conscious state? Yes, answered the hermit. Oh, it is so strange and so wonderful. Despite being conscious, despite being awake, you cannot see a caravan of 500 bullock carts passing by through this road. You can neither hear the sound of the bulls, the sound of the cart, the sound of the talking traders passing by through this road. But I notice your robes are stained with the dust. All those dust are on your robes. Yes. And then that gentleman had such deep thought. Oh, this is really unusual. Why? How a hermit can remain in such kind of absent state, absent-minded state, even though he is still conscious and aware and awoke. He cannot see 500 bullock carts, marching bullock carts passing by. He cannot hear. This is a very wonderful. So this is what I heard. The Pokusha mentioned to the Buddha about that, about what he had regarding the wonderful mental capacity of the progress saints. Actually, that Venerable Alara has achieved not vipassana and then supreme bliss nibbana. He just only developed the material and material absorption state. During that time, he was entering into the deep immaterial absorption state. Then Buddha replied, Pakusha, now I would like to tell you, I wanted to ask you a question. Whether that one, the ones you told me, is easier or more difficult, or the one I'm going to talk about is more difficult and more impossible. When Buddha asked this question, the Pokusha answered, just please let me hear what you say. Then I can answer. I can give you the right answer. Now, Buddha said, okay, there are two scenarios, two things. One is that someone who is still awake and still conscious, but one neither can see nor can hear, despite heavy roaring rains are coming up in the sky with a very roaring and very strong thunder sounds and lightning, even thunder strike. This is one person's ability. The other is the ability of someone who is awake, who is still conscious, but who cannot notice 500 or 600 or 700 or 800 or 900 bullock carts passing by. Which one is more difficult and more impossible? The Buddha raised this question to Pokusha. Pokusha answered, Bande, in fact, It is the most difficult and the most impossible that someone neither can notice nor hear big, heavy thunder, lightning, strike, heavy rains come up simultaneously. It is much more difficult than not hearing and not noticing the 500 vloggers passing by in the nearby road. The one you mentioned is more difficult because thunders are so loud. Lightning are so bright. There is even a thunder strike. And there's also heavy rain. He must get out of his sitting position, look for the cover in order to protect himself from the rain, in order to protect himself from the lightning. That's why it's much more difficult than the 500 bullock carts passing by and not noticing, even though one is awake and one is conscious. This is minor and comparable. This is nothing if compared to the ability of that monk and that hermit who cannot hear heavy rains coming down, heavy uh, roaring thunders and lightning strikes happening at the same moment, at the same time. When Pakusha gave this correct answer, Buddha said, Pakusha, now I'm going to share practical story, practical incident happened myself. Once, Pakusha, I am staying in the Atuma, a place called the Atuma, in the straw hut. And that hut is in the middle of the straw. In the ancient India, you can see, even nowadays, you can see straw huts. I am staying in the straw hut, not a conventional building. It is unprotected from the winds and the rains. While I was living there, I was entering into the very deep samapati. Let me use the term in Pali word. A samapati, even though we translate it as a trance, it's not actually trance. It is a state of mind being absorbed into absorption state, both material and material state. But in this case, Buddha is entering into the cessation state. At that time, in the nearby field, two brother farmers are plowing the field by using four kind of bow in their plows. The heavy rains come up and the lightning strikes and thunders come roaring up all over the sky. And thunders unfortunately strike those two brothers together with their four foals are immediately killed by a thunder strike. And the people from the village of Atuma come out when the rain stops. This, in order to help the people, these two brothers, they found the two brothers already died, and four vows already died. I also get out of my trance. I saw a lot of crowds coming out of the village, and some people come running toward me. Sir, are you okay? What happened? We found that two brothers are already passed away in the thunder strike, and four volts also perished in the thunder strike. Nothing happened. Are you okay? The brother said, I'm okay. Do you hear such kind of noise? No. I even thought why you are here. Well, this is a sad situation happening. That's why we came here. So why the Buddha mentioned about that? Venerable Sir, why you cannot hear such kind of crazy and loud thunder and lightning and thunder strikes roaring all over the sky? Are you in deep sleep? Of course not. Buddha answered. Are you sure you are still awake? Of course. So wonderful. People in the crowd replied, oh, so wonderful. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Impossible under normal circumstances and normal conditions. How can this happen? They just stop and they just surprised at the Buddha's explanation. So this is what Buddha explained to the Pukusha. Pukusha, I have this experience. Just I want to share very my experience practically happened. And the one place called Atuma. During that time, I'm staying in the straw hut and a heap of the hill. During that time, lightning, thunder, heavy rain come up, and because of thunder strike, two farmers who are blowing nearby field pass away together with the 4 volts, and people come running out, rushing to the field, rushing to me, and they just ask the question. I just explain them. I can hear, I cannot notice, I cannot understand, I cannot aware what's going on outside. I just only remain conscious and aware in my deep trance of state. That's what is said by the Buddha. If you uh, once you understand this, what Buddha has said to Bokusha, you will know the power of mind. In this case, not ordinary mind, already progress advanced mind which have attained complete purity and complete power is very wonderful and very beneficial. I hope this story will be inspiring for all of us. May all of you be inspired by explanations of the Buddha, by understanding these 7 benefits of mindfulness meditation. May you be able to continue your exploration on the spiritual journey, slowly coming along and trying meditation in the beginning phase and making baby steps and making more progress further. May you attain your intended goal of the peace and bliss and freedom. Okay, now let's conclude for today's section. Okay, now let's conclude. Inside meditation leading to self-control and peace. You can read through this note. You can read through this note, and you can be inspired by this kind of notes. You also trying to remember these 7 benefits. Please try to remember 7 benefits, and please try to remember four objects of mindfulness meditation. This way you can progress and you can continue to explore. Okay, goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye. See you next time, next month.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye, Sayadaw.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You are welcome to
Bye-bye.
home.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.